And I already have this dialog box open, but all I did was I went under the edit menu way down at the bottom where it gives you the option of editing either keyboard shortcuts or menus, and it actually opens the same dialog box no matter which one you choose, so it doesn't really matter. But just want to point out to you, if you may already be aware of the fact this has been around for a little while, the ability to edit your own keyboard shortcuts. And all you have to do is decide what it is you want to either access: the application menus themselves, in other words, file, edit, and so on, the palette menus, or even tools themselves. But here's a perfect example of the situation you might find yourself in. If you look down here under the File menu, one of the options, of course, is the different commands for print. Well, as of the last couple of versions of Photoshop, I gotta honestly say I use print with preview almost every time. Rarely do I ever just use print, but yet the print command still has the, what shall we call it, traditional shortcut of Command or Control P. So I'm just going to go into this one and say I would like that to be Command or Control P. Now it says it's already in use. It will be removed from file print if accepted. Well, that's fine, because really I'm not going to use the print command anymore. So this is the decision you'll have to make. I'm not necessarily advocating you should go out and do this. What I am saying is if you think that might be useful, you certainly can make that decision. Just recognize that you are overriding a traditional one. Now, of course, you can take any shortcut you find and attempt to allocate a keyboard shortcut, but in all honesty, the chances are finding one that's available is pretty challenging. It's hard to find a keyboard shortcut, especially a logical one that isn't already spoken for. If you change anything I did here, now it's saying that I have modified these and I could save this as my own set just as a backup plan. Now, what happened in CS2 is they took it a step further, where now you can also access the menus, and the same thing applies. You have the application menus or the pop-up menus in palettes themselves. And as an example of this, let's take a look at one quick example. If I go into the filter menu and I'll scroll way down until I find all the sharpen filters. Now honestly, the only ones I ever use anymore are unsharp mask and smart sharpen. So I'm going to just hide all of these completely, so from now on they just won't appear there. So I click OK. Now it's important to note that nothing's ever actually gone. So if I go into the filter menu, you'll see that yes, indeed, there are only my two sharpen filters I left, but at any time I could also choose show all menu items and they're all back anyway. So anytime I go back to the menu for the first time, they are hidden, but then I can always show all menu items. If you know you want to make sure you get them back, hold down the Command key or the Control key in Windows and it'll automatically show them without having to go to that extra step. Now, just to finalize this, if you have made a bunch of keyboard shortcuts and made a bunch of customized menus, one of the options that you now have available to you is saving a workspace. In the past, the workspace literally just meant the position of your palettes, and it still does, but it also now includes the ability to include keyboard shortcuts and menus. So, for example, if you put together a combination of menus, palettes, and keyboard commands that were specifically for photo retouching, because there might be certain commands or certain tools or certain functions and certain menus that you might want, you save that, and now under the workspace list you'll see the various ones, including the one that you have just created. Now, just as an example, the other thing you can do, which I didn't mention, I'll just show you one that was kind of a cool idea that Adobe put built in to CS2, is a command that says what's new in CS2, and they've taken advantage of another menu option, which is color coding. So at a quick glance you can see anything that's new. So needless to say, you could also do that. If I go back to the menu commands, you also, this is where you have the ability to go in here and decide if you want to color code something. Anyway, so that just gives you an idea, but it's really nice how you can customize your own version of Photoshop, knowing you can always get back to the original because you always have the ability to go back to the defaults if you like. So go ahead and start changing your menus and shortcuts. Just remember to always have that default to go back to. I'm Dave Cross, enjoying the lovely weather. We'll see you next time. Bye.